Are you offering drone services but find it difficult to convert it into booked jobs? You have a fantastic range of services but they're just not turning into paid gigs? You see potential clients reach out but you're finding it challenging to actually close the deal? The issue here might not be with your services, but instead your actual sales process. Fortunately, this is a solvable problem, and in this video, I'm going to talk about ways to help. I'm going to guide you through each step in this process and also share some tips and tricks that you can use in your own business. Hi, my name is Chris Guinera, CEO of Blue Falcon Aerial. I have significant experience and formalized education in marketing, and I want to help new drone service providers and those veterans who may just need a new perspective increase their leads and generate more conversions for their business. Well, let's go ahead and get started. What is a sales funnel, and why is it important for a drone service provider? A sales funnel is a visual representation of the customer journey, depicting the sales process from initial customer awareness to the final purchase decision. It's typically divided into 4 stages: awareness, interest, decision, and action. So now that we know what a sales funnel is, these are 5 reasons why it's important for a drone service provider. So the first step is customer journey understanding. The sales funnel helps drone service providers understand the customer journey. It helps identify at which stage potential customers might be and what kind of information or encouragement they might need to move on to the next stage. The second reason is effective marketing and sales strategies. By understanding each stage of the sales funnel, a drone service provider can create targeted marketing and sales strategies. For instance, content marketing might be useful for the awareness stage, while detailed project demonstrations may be more effective for the decision stage. The third reason is resource allocation. The sales funnel can show where customers are dropping off before making a purchase. This allows the provider to allocate resources more effectively to improve these areas. Number 4 is conversion rate improvement. The sales funnel allows businesses to focus on improving the conversion rate at each one of these stages, ultimately leading to an increase in overall sales. The last reason is for customer retention. The sales funnel can be extended beyond the initial sale to include stages for retaining and upselling customers, which is crucial for long-term business growth. In summary, a sales funnel is a structured way to turn a prospective customer into a client and a client into a long-term customer. Having a sales funnel in place is absolutely essential for any drone service provider to sustain itself and eventually grow over time. A sales funnel is very wide at the top and narrow at the bottom. It looks like a funnel, which of course makes sense given its name. The way to think of it is you have a lot of potential clients that exist out there in the world. You drop them into the funnel, and as they go down the funnel, they fall off, and then you're left with people who are actually interested. The top and largest part of the funnel is the awareness. These are all the people who are aware of your product or services. The next level down is slightly smaller. This is the interest section. These are people who may have some sort of interest in your products or services. The third one down, and even smaller still, is the decision stage. And lastly, you have the action stage. The funnel gets smaller as it goes down because not everyone who has awareness of it is actually going to have interest in it. Not everyone who has interest in it is actually going to take a step forward to get to a purchase decision. Your job as a marketer is to make people go down that funnel, get them from the awareness down to the interest, down to the decision, and ultimately purchase your product or service at the action stage. Now, this is something really important that a lot of people don't fully understand. It is not critical that you have them go down the funnel. The most important thing is that you have them progress either into the funnel or fall out of the funnel. Falling out of the funnel is entirely okay, and that's something that we like as marketers. But wait, why would we want someone to fall out of the funnel? Don't we want them to buy our services? Of course we want everyone to buy our services, but the reality is not everyone will. And we have to spend our time and our money on nurturing the people who are inside of our funnel to push them further down. As they fall out, we can now dedicate our time and resources to the people who are still inside of our funnel. So as a marketer, yes and no are the two really good answers. We want to know whether or not they're interested in our service, yes or no. The maybes are the guys who are really frustrating and we need them to get off the fence. Think about it this way. How many times have you had potential clients that you've been dealing with for days, weeks, months, and haven't made a decision whether or not to purchase or not? Even if you're not actually spending money to nurture that into a potential client, you're still having to spend the time and the resources on tracking them where they're at and following up to try to get more information. You can now use that time more effectively, targeting someone who has not made a purchase decision yet, and you can keep pushing down the funnel. So once again, yes and no are two great options. The maybes are the ones we have to keep working on. Now, once you have a sales funnel established, it is a really, really great thing because it allows you to make very informed and calculated decisions. It also allows you to identify weaknesses in your sales funnel because you can see where people are falling out of the funnel. Are you having a big drop-off between your awareness and your interest phase? Or maybe the interest to actually making a decision phase? Or perhaps it may be the decision into the action phase. You can look at these numbers and really dive in and try to make it better based upon the analytics. The percentage of prospective clients who successfully go from interest all the way to action, that's called your conversion rate. This conversion rate is a very, very important number, and you absolutely need to know what this is. The cool thing about a conversion rate is now you can do math and make informed decisions. For example, if you have a 1% conversion rate from interest down to action, you know it's going to take approximately 100 potential clients in the awareness phase to turn into one action. You can also have a conversion rate for each one of your phases. For instance, what is your conversion rate from awareness down to interest? If you think your conversion rate from awareness to interest is not very good, what steps can you do to increase it? Same thing from your interest to your decision, or your decision to your action. You can clearly identify where you may have weaknesses in your actual service offering. Now, the other cool part about this is if you're able to increase your overall conversion rate, let's say from 1% to 2%, that means that instead of 1 out of 100 people will go all the way to make a purchase decision, it may actually be only 1 out of 50, which of course makes your entire process a lot more efficient, and you don't have to work as hard to turn your prospects into actual clients. Now, like I told you earlier, if you have a proper sales funnel established, you can really identify and target areas that need improvement. So let's discuss what each part of the sales funnel is. The awareness phase is just now learning that your DSP even exists. They don't know your actual services or offerings necessarily. However, they now at least have heard of you. You can do this via social media, printed advertising, Facebook ads, Google ads, many different ways to increase your awareness of your products or services. So just because someone has heard of your brand doesn't actually mean that they're going to be able to utilize your services or really have any interest in what you're providing. However, if they find value and they find interest in what you're doing, then they'll fall into the second category, which is your interest phase. During the interest phase is when they're going to be going through your website, going through your content, trying to understand everything they can about your actual business and what services that you provide. This is really where they're going to get that first impression of you and what you're offering. They may have some follow-up questions and things that they're specifically asking to see if this is something that is of real value to them. So from here, they have two options. They may decide, this is not something I'm interested in, or they may request a quote or some sort of an inquiry on the services that they're looking for. That is whenever they transition to the decision phase or the negotiation phase. From the decision or the negotiation phase, you once again have two options. They can either go ahead and accept your quote and move down to the action phase, or they can fall out and decide it's not for them. Now, you may have also heard of the sales funnel and recognize this as having your cold, warm, and hot leads. And that's absolutely acceptable and interchangeable. People who have never heard of your services or are barely in that awareness stage would be your cold contacts. Once they have interest, they're going to go into the warm contacts. And once they actually go into that negotiation phase, that's when they become a hot contact. Now, it would make sense that if someone is in that negotiation phase or someone is warm or hot, they're going to have a higher priority than someone who is cold. This also goes to reason as to why cold calling is not very effective, because you're contacting people who really don't have any interest in your products and services, and you're trying to essentially grab them and pull them into the funnel. Now, let's say you've actually found a problem in your sales funnel. Let's say that you're having a lot of potential clients fall out between the decision phase and the action phase. What do you do about it? So let's talk about the sales funnel and how we can fill them gaps and make less people fall out at each stage of the process. If you're having a poor conversion rate at the awareness to interest phase, it could be because there's a lack of detailed information. Prospects may be aware that your brand exists, but may not fully understand the specifics of your drone services and what you offer. It also could be because of insufficient engagement. Your content may not be engaging enough to capture the prospect's attention and pique their interest. So some solutions that you can try is provide more detailed content about your services, showcasing their benefits and how they can be used in various scenarios. You can also use engaging and interactive content such as videos, infographics, webinars, quizzes, or things of that nature to draw attention and generate interest. Now let's talk about interest to decision. So let's say you're having a major drop-off in your interest to decision conversion rate. It could be because there's a lack of trust. Prospects may be interested in your services, but might not trust your brand enough to consider purchasing. It also could be because there's an absence of competitive advantage. Prospects may not perceive a significant difference between your services and those of your competitors. And that goes back to having a proper, unique selling position we've talked about in previous videos. So what are some solutions? Well, build trust by sharing testimonials, case studies, and endorsements from satisfied customers. Also, provide clear and detailed safety and privacy policies. Now, when it comes to an absence of competitive advantage, just make sure to highlight your competitive advantages. What makes your DSP unique or superior to others? Showcase advanced technology, unique features, excellent customer service, and etc. Now, let's say that they've made it all the way to the negotiating table and you are having a conversation about prices and exactly what you could provide them, and they're still not following through and you have a poor conversion rate there. These are some things that it could be. Number one, it could be a pricing issue. The cost of your services may be seen as too high, causing prospects to hesitate before taking any action. It could also be a complicated purchase process. If your purchasing process is complicated or confusing, prospects might abandon the transaction altogether. So what can you do about that? Well, you can consider pricing strategies that show value, such as package deals, discounts for long-term commitments, or maybe even a free demo. The second thing you can do is simplify the purchase process. Ensure your website is easy to navigate, the checkout process is streamlined, and customer support is readily available to assist with any issues. So now that you've gone and you've done the math and you've fixed as many of the holes as possible and made your conversion rates as high as possible, great. Now is the time to actually start putting people into the sales funnel. So how are you going to do that? Well, this is where marketing really starts to shine. You need to go out there and put as many people as possible into your sales funnel to get the conversion rates to actually work. For instance, let's say you have a 2% conversion rate. If you put 100 people into that sales funnel, you're going to get 2 people as paying clients. That may be okay in some situations. However, it's probably not going to sustain you very well. However, if you can go out there and put 10,000 people into your sales funnel with a 2% conversion rate, now you're looking at 200 clients. That is a lot more feasible, right? Fortunately, by using proper social media, YouTube, Facebook ads, Google ads, printed marketing, conferences, networking, all these other really, really fantastic tools, it's a lot easier to reach 10,000 people than you may think. Now, building a sales funnel is a daunting task, and it's complicated and it takes a lot of time. And yeah, I get it. It's not fun. However, it is critically important to do so before you actually market yourself to the wider audience And let's go ahead and dive into why. Building a proper sales funnel is all about efficiency. It's about getting the best bang for your buck. Even if you're not spending a lot of money on marketing, you're still spending your time, which is just as valuable. If you can increase your conversion rate from a 1% to a 5%, that is huge and will absolutely save you so much time and money. So let's get two examples. You have DSP 1 who goes out there without a proper sales funnel in place. They contact 1,000 people, and because they have not had a properly built sales funnel, they only have a conversion rate of 1%. That 1,000 people they contacted has turned into 10 paying clients. Now, on the other hand, you have DSP 2. They have done the right work to make sure that their sales funnel is properly built, and they have a 5% conversion rate, right? These are totally made up numbers, but let's just use this as an example. They go out and contact 1,000 people as well. Instead of getting 10 paying clients, they have 50 paying clients. So they're getting 5 times the amount of results for the same amount of work, as long as they did the appropriate steps to build the sales funnel and make it as efficient as possible. This may be an extreme example, and it honestly might not be. These are numbers that are not unrealistic in this industry. Now, on this channel, we're going to be talking about social media and Google ads and search engine optimization and all these other great things to increase the number of people who are going to go into your sales funnel. However, this video is critically important to do first, because if you do not have a proper sales funnel established, you're really just not being as efficient and wasting your time. So I got a question for you. Do you have a proper sales funnel in place? And if so, what is your conversion rate? I'm legitimately curious. Also, where do people fall off in your sales funnel? And if you're not sure, it's probably something you need to look into, right? If you like this content, please let me know down below. And of course, like this video. If you're new to the channel, make sure to check out our introduction to marketing video. I'm going to have that link right here. And make sure to subscribe so you don't miss new content. See you guys in the next video.